BookTube, it's Louise, the big head bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you are well. So we're back. We're back in Cambridge. We're back into the routine. We're back into wearing jumpers because we're back into rain, and it is grey skies and it is rainy, and we're back. Benedict is back at school. Benedict is back on his crutches for the next month. Oh, it's ongoing. It's ongoing. The husband's back at work. He's working lots and lots. And so we're back to life. However, I have a little slice of Cornwall left to show you. I'm actually splitting it into two. So this video is going to be the third part of the vlog. And we go to the Eden Project, and it is gorgeous. So I shall show you that in a moment. And then I am going to do another video where I show you a bit left, the last little bit of our Cornish holiday, and I will do a wrap up of all the books that I read, and so that you get an idea of what I read, and I will show you my how far I am with my knitting. For I have to say, there were more than three. There were more than three people that were interested into knitting and crochet, and I knit and I crochet. So for those people that said, "Oh, I don't knit but I crochet," I'm with you. I'm with you there as well. So because I knit and I crochet, so I shall show you. I will update you on the progress of my top. Okay, so lovely BookTube people. Let us remember how lovely it was to be on holiday. Grab yourself a nice cup of tea. I have got my huge Marauders Mat cup here, and let's travel back into time when I was nice and warm and in the sun in Cornwall. Hello BookTube, it's Louise the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day. It's Wednesday, BookTube. How did that happen? And it's a wet Wednesday at that. My word, is it a wet Wednesday? So yes, it's a Wednesday. And last time I saw you, it was Friday. How did that happen? Oh, I'm just going to add a little bit here, which I filmed on Friday, and I didn't add to the vlog because it would have just made it too long. So this is a little bit that I recorded on Friday, where I was talking about Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. But the other thing I forgot to say was I have finished Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. So that was on my Kindle. It's a psychological thriller about, do we really know what goes on behind closed doors? Behind this seemingly perfect couple of Grace and Jack. It is about coercive control, I think. I think that's what I would say it's about. It's a very tense read. A thriller. It's very tense, and it is quite a study of coercive control and fear. And I found it almost quite alarming because of that. She's obviously done some decent research into what coercive control is. I follow Laura Richards on a lot of her social media, and she is one of the people from Scotland Yard who has put together Dash, which is something that the police use to look about domestic abuse, and it's a kind of a checklist. And so she's done an awful lot to raise the profile of what coercive control is, and how you can say, I don't understand why people go back, or I don't understand why they didn't reach out for help. And it's about taking the focus away from what the victim's behaviour is to the perpetrator of coercive control and abuse. That's what Dash is, and Laura Richards is a lady that does it. So reading the book, I think she must be aware of that work as well, because there was quite a bit about coercive control in there. It was a tense read. I did enjoy it though, and I can understand everybody that's been saying to me, oh, that was a good book, I enjoyed it. I can understand why you would say that. I was a little bit uncomfortable because of it was, but I think it's one of those. There was part of me that's thinking, oh, we're using coercive control as something for entertainment, which I don't agree with. However, if it raises the profile of why people don't walk away, or what people's behaviour can do, or what coercive control, how insidious it is, and how it's a drip effect. and how you can see the seeds of it starting. I thought that was quite interesting. And if it starts people thinking about that kind of stuff. And also there was a question of looking at other people, not just taking the kind of what they show you in the glossiness and except believing that that's what people's real life is, the glossy image that they show you. Glossy image. I'm of course talking about my good self here, because I am truly glossy. You don't know the hours it's taken. None, no. So I thought that was quite interesting. So it made me think in that regards, but it was a good quick read, and I'm glad I read it on holiday, because it was one of those reads that I might well have not given it any time. I might have just gone, I'm not in the mood for it. But because I'm on holiday, I was able, and we're having a quiet day, I was able to give some time to it. So yes, I've read that today. So Saturday we decided that we would go to the beach. It was a beautiful day. Good morning, BookTube. It's Saturday morning. It's changeover day. This is the day where everybody leaves. There is mass cleaning, and then the new lot arrives. So the attractions and the beaches are quieter today. So as it is a glorious day, which is why I'm stood in the shade, let me show you. Oh, look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful today. So let's go back into the shadow so I can look at you and say hello. We are going to head to the beach. We've checked the tides. It's mid-morning here. There was no point going earlier because it was high tide at just about 9 o'clock this morning, so there was no point going any earlier. So we're going now. We're going to go to a beach, find a little patch of sand, and spend the day there, I think. Oh, we're going to stop at the pasty shop on our way. Oh yes. When we got there, it was a little bit busier than we thought. You know how I said it was going to be a lot quieter today? But the husband thought so too, didn't you, husband?
I did.
And why did you think it was going to be quieter today?
Well, it's changeover day.
It's changeover day.
Normally very quiet in changeover.
But they're obviously teaching either lifeguards, or it's the Cornish way of teaching how to swim, which is basically run into the sea. Yep. And then so they're on little weenies, just running around on little, oh look, they're all going out on their surfboards. All the weenies. Oh.
Can I go and paddle?
Yeah.
Yay!
Off it goes. And this, you see, that boy's excitement is why we want to be living down here, because he just loves it. He just absolutely loves it, and everything is geared up to playing in the sea. Look at that. Gorgeous day. We've got a dog here that keeps coming and saying hello to me, which is lovely. I asked at the cafe, and they said it was because it was lifeguard training and it was the surf school fun day. So that's for local people, and it was all local children, and it was a fun day. So they were doing lots of races, and it was just lovely to watch. The sea was so full. It wasn't that powerful a sea, so it was probably brilliant for that. There was also something called Swim from the Rock. So there's a rock about a mile out, a large rock, not just like a little rock. And they do a swim for that. So they ferry people out on the boats. So the boats were going out, taking people there. And then there was a mass swim back from that. So we saw the end of that when we left. We stayed there for the whole day. It was absolutely beautiful. We had a beautiful day there. Sunday, we did nothing. We needed a day where we just did nothing. And we did nothing. I sat in the garden and I read my book.
So today is Sunday. We are taking it easy around the house. We're sitting on the patio, on the back garden. I'm about to carry on reading my book, which I started yesterday. I am that far into it. It is excellent. It took me a while to get into the tone, but I am thoroughly enjoying it now. Yeah. It's challenging me and exciting me at the same time. So it's really good. So I'm enjoying this.
Which I finished Did I finish it Monday? I think I finished it Monday morning. And so that's Lillian Boxfish Takes a Walk by Kathleen Rooney. I did really enjoy this. I thought it was a lovely, lovely book. She has a very distinctive tone, which pervades the whole book. It's written from Lillian's point of view, from when she was 85, and it's overlooking her life from when she comes to New York from the mid-1920s, 1930s. So it's got a wonderful sense of period, both the 1980s and the 1930s in particular. So those are the 2 points that she really concentrates on. So you really get a sense of the period of that. You really get a sense of New York and her. She has a very distinctive tone. That is a good thing if you like it. If you don't like it, you would find the book too much, because there is no change of tone. That was the only thing I had about it, was that there was no change of tone. And it is so distinctive, I felt like I needed a break. Now, that may be because I read so quickly, and so I was able to sit and read it almost in kind of 3 sittings. Whereas if you were to take your time over a little bit, it's not a huge book, but if you were to take your time over it like a week, you'd be visiting with a friend almost. She has a very distinctive tone, and the other thing the other bit I did really enjoy was the idea about New York. It is about New York. New York is a character in this. I would have liked more New York from the 1930s, because New York was changing then. There was so much building and development, the 1920s and 30s, and it is alluded to a little bit. I'd have loved more of that, but I know what it's like to walk around a city and really get to know it. When I worked in London in the bookshops, we used to go from various bookshops to bookshops, and because we lived in North London as well, we used London so much, and we used to spend hours walking around it. We used to do ghost walks around London. We knew it so well, and it felt like our city, and she has that feeling about New York. And it's like the Woody Allen films where he loves New York, and you get the feeling he knows it. I got that feeling with this book as well, so I really enjoyed it. So that was top book. And it is utterly beautiful, so that was really good. Podcast-wise, there's been another couple of episodes of Beyond Reasonable Doubt that have dropped, so I downloaded them yesterday and listened to one of those. I am listening to Dead by Sunset by Anne Rule, which is one of her true crime books, and it's actually one of her very well-known famous books, which I just think is brilliant. So I'm thoroughly enjoying that, as I'm still into my true crime mood at the moment. So that was really good. Monday, what did we do? Oh, we went back to Trevornance Cove. Went back to Trevornance Cove on Bank Holiday Monday. And it was wonderful because all the locals were there. Lots of locals came down as well. It was flat. I don't think I've ever seen the sea at Trevornance Cove so flat. I mean, there was barely a ripple. So we did lots of games in the sea. So we were lots of throwing games and catching, and it was a lovely day. Again, we only expected to spend a couple of hours there, but we spent like the entire day there. So that was really good. It was wall-to-wall sunshine. Yesterday it started to clear over a little bit, and I went to Truro and I uploaded my blog. So there we are. So that's what I did yesterday. I did sit down in a cafe because the husband and Benedict went to the cinema and saw Captain Underpants, which because the husband hadn't seen it, and apparently he laughed the whole way through, as did Benedict. And so I sat in a cafe and had a little cake and a ginger ale, which was very good. And then today, as it's Wednesday, we are about to, right now, go to the Eden Project, probably with everybody else on a Wet Wednesday. So we're gonna get going now. I'm not going to take my book. I'm reading this at the moment, Apprentice in Death, my latest one. I'm about that far through. It's fine at the moment. I'm enjoying it, but it's nothing too special at the moment. And yes, that's it. I shall catch up with you later. Bye. So we're on the way to the Eden Project, aren't we? Everybody give a big cheer.
Hey!
Is it a Wet Wednesday?
Yep. It's a Wet Wednesday.
Recording.
And I have a hot drink. The husband stopped and got hot drink. Benedict had a baby chino.
But I've already drunk it.
Drunken it. And what did you think to your baby chino?
It was really good.
There we go. Would you have another one?
Yeah. Hope I don't have a milk this time.
What do you think, husband? A good view?
It's a very nice view. I particularly like the view of the van in the foreground because it's quite a lot of space inside, and I think I could get quite a lot of stuff in there if you pack it well enough.
Just been in the cool room to cool down because it's so warm in here. The husband and Benedict are still in there. And the other great thing is I've walked in so many people's photographs. I'm going to be at the sight of me in some of these people's photographs. Are you feeling cooler?
Yeah.
There he is.
Hello.
So we've got ourselves a smoothie, which has got that in. Try concentrate.
I guess someone's forced to look at what it says.
What do you think, Daddy?
Well, now I've got the way through it. I'm starting to get into it, but I think it's saved by the mint.
Yes, it has got mint in. I'm not sure it's going to be my favourite drink. So here we are in the Mediterranean biome. I have got my microphone with me, but I'm not going to use it. I have
Hello.
here. We're just having a sit. Daddy is wandering around, isn't he?
Yep.
So there we go. I can show you it behind. I can show you it. There it is. So Benedict is on his crutches today, aren't you? Which are tiring to walk with. There's no getting away from it, so they're tiring. So we're having a sit down, aren't we? Sweetie?
Yeah. Going having fun till my lunch.
Look at that beautiful olive tree behind me. Oh, they're so beautiful.
So there we go, BookTube. That was it. That was the end of that day. We just came home and then we bumbled about, and I think we went out for a meal in the evening, which was very nice. So yes, I shall now put that all together and upload it, and then hopefully tomorrow I will be able to upload the final part and the wrap up. It's kind of a wrap up and a wrap up, but I'll do a complete wrap up of all the books that I read. And yeah, and there we go. That's the end of my holiday stuff. Oh, hope you are well, BookTube, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. I can now reply to comments. Hooray! Because I am... The one good thing of being back, the one good thing about being back is that I am back in the land of Wi-Fi, so I can reply to comments and I can watch other people's videos, which is quite lovely. So yeah, so I shall catch up with you soon, BookTube. Bye!